right? And Satan, which deceived the whole world, all right? And like I said, one of those, those philosophies, those deceptions, hey, that's a major way that they destroy the Israelites, man. All right, the removal, and the removing of our name, right? And that's why it says in the book. In fact, I can get it now. Book of Revelations, the 11th chapter and the 8th verse. It's just on the other side of the page. It says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, and where the Lord was crucified." And that's one of the deceptions that they put forth, man. All right, they removed the name of the Lord. That's why it says that's why it says there the Lord was crucified. They X'd out the name of the Lord, man. All right, they removed that from us, that's a gateway, all right, into the Most High, man. That's a gateway, the only gateway to the Lord, man, to the Most High, man, to make it out of what's gonna be out here, man. All right. When you're gonna have missiles blowing up all over the place, cities being leveled, bridges being Manhattan Bridge and so on and so forth. They show you that in the I Am Legend, man. Right? You say, nah, you people got the disease, or you got whatever biochemical weapon that we've created. Actually, for the record, we've created it, but in fact we're gonna keep you there. Even in that movie with Christian Bale, right, The Dark Knight Rises, they showed you that, man. All right, you had it to where you had a so-called nuclear weapon out in there, but hold on a minute, they said it to where they had it set up to where them people couldn't even travel off out of that island. And they said they were going to shoot the bridge down, man. All right, when that time comes, how are you gonna be delivered? Say if you have the name of the Lord, man. All right, and that's why the elders of GMS say that guys like Nate have sold out, and they've sold out for the purpose of what? Right, for the purpose of Esau making assurance that Jake be wiped off, man, that Jake be destroyed. All right, because if you remove the name of the Lord from us, man, hey, we're destroyed people, man. All right. So it says, and they people on kindred tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3.5 days, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to put in graves. The day that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because the two prophets that torment them that dwell upon the earth. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of the Lord entered into them, spoken about in the book of within the book of Ezekiel. Is it the 36th or the 37th chapter? I forget. All right. Spirit of the Most High entered into them, because the scripture says in the book of John, the 6th chapter and the 63rd verse, the Spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, their spirit and their life. So the Lord's got it to where the words that you get from the men of GMS, those are the words of spirit and their life, man. All right. That's where you're gonna get the word coming up, man. All right, and that's how you're gonna have it to where the men of Israel's gonna be raised up. But you're gonna see, really that's what really bugs Esau out, because he's put all of these crafty devices in place to stop this truth from coming out, to destroy the Israelites. But no matter what he does, it's like the more he tries to destroy, the house of Israel, the more we rise up as a nation, man. That's why it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, great fear fell upon them that saw, man. Right? Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him. Right? Right? And fear fell upon the people and that's what's happening right now, man. We're standing firm and steadfast for this truth before such as afflicted us. Okay? And the Most High is going to has it to where the fear is falling upon them, upon these Edomites, man. All right? You got so much counter information out there, and the Most High still got it to where this truth is coming out, man. And that goes to show you the power of the Yahweh Shemi Hashai, man. To where you can have guys like Nate and Aya, Shupi and Hard Rock Truth, all guys countering the truth, trying to go up against the truth, right? And the Lord still got it to where the elect men of Israel are still rising up, man. That's a damn beautiful thing, man. All right? He says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying, come out of my people. And they ascended up into the heaven in the clouds, and the enemies beheld them. Same thing it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter and the 1st verse. Now back in Revelations, the 12th chapter, and and the 10th verse, and the 9th verse, it says, and a great dragon was cast out, the old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole earth. He was cast into the earth, and the angels with him. And it says, and I heard a voice saying, now is salvation come, and the strength of and the kingdom of the Most High, right, and the power of Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. It says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, which is Yahushua, all right, and by the word of their testimony, and they loved their lives unto death, all right. And that's a key factor too, of which, if I go to, is it James, the first chapter, or James the 5th chapter. The exact quote, the exact placement of the scripture, but the scripture said something to the effect of love not the world, neither the things that James 2, I'm sure it's James 2 and something. Let's see if I can find it. Pretty sure it's in James, man, but anyways, it says, love not thy life, neither love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. For all that is in the world, lust of the flesh, right, adultery, idolatry. That's all wicked devices that Esau pushes forth to do what, man? To destroy the house of Israel, man. Because if you start having it to where you push that adulterous vibration, of which the whole music industry is based off of that, all right. Hell, hey, the punishment for adultery is death, man. So that's one way they push the destruction of our people, man. All right, right, lust of the flesh, all of that, man. Those are all wicked devices that Esau puts forth, crafty counsel that they have taken to destroy us as a people, as a nation, man. All right, and that's why the scripture says here. I said that because it says here in the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter. And halfway through the 11th verse, it says, and they love not their lives unto death, man. So, you know, we ain't in a situation where we're all about our agenda. Because if we was about our agenda, man, damn, all right, we would don't stop pushing this word, man. And the Most High wouldn't have stopped with us, and we wouldn't raise us up as a nation, as you're seeing the nation of Israel being raised up right now through the Spirit, Yahweh Shem outside, and ultimately to be kings and priests, that the scripture says, upon the face of the earth, man. All right. So it says there in the 12th verse, rejoice ye heavens, and ye rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell therein, that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he has a short time. All right. So now they're gonna come down with great wrath, man, because he knows he's got a short period of time right now, man. See now you're having it to where you just can't straight up, you know, you have one guy like, see, we ain't falling for the comfort, man. Nobody's falling for the comfort. All right, we ain't falling for guys like Nate. That's too weak, man. See, that's the beautiful thing about this. That's the beautiful thing for having about this word, man. See, now you got a situation where you can decipher who's got the spirit and who doesn't have the spirit, man. If a guy's coming in a certain fashion, man, we're gonna ignore him. So now you just can't have it to where you're gonna have certain guys come out and they're and they're pushing out their disinformation, right, to counteract this truth. You ain't just gonna have that, and that's gonna be accepted. You're gonna come with a greater wrath now. All right, so you better believe it, like it says in the book of Matthew, Mark the 13th chapter, right? Behold, the Lord's going to, have it to where some of us gonna have to be in prisons, man. Right? Gonna be publicly shamed. All right. And one of the devices that the Esau's gonna have, he's gonna push forth. He's gonna have it to where he's gonna try make it to where we will look like them terrorists, man. That's what Esau's gonna try and make to do, man. All right, that's what he's gonna use. That you got it to where you got the ISIS guys. He's gonna put that and try to frame the men of the Lord with that, man. All right. But even in all of that, Lord said some of the men that you see and they're pushed in this world, they're gonna have to die for this truth, man. But that's what the scripture says. They not they love their lives unto death. All right. So it says, "Rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell therein. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea." All right, the people out here. All right, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he hath but a short time. And when the devil, when the dragon saw he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman, which was brought forth the man-child. Right, and to the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle that she might fly. Right. All right, into the wilderness. Right, where she nourished for a time and half times. Right, from the face of the serpent, and the serpent cast out of his mouth floods as if floods after the woman. All right, and like I said, that's talking about the philosophies, man. All right, floods is after the woman that he might cause her to be carried away off the flood, right? Carried into Islam and carried into what religion? Roman Catholicism, all of that. That's all part of the flood, man. Part of the destruction of our people, right? All right. It says, and the earth helped the woman, right, and opened out her mouth and swallowed up the floods, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of the seed, which keep their commandments of the Most High. So the Most High has had it to where, Esau's actually going to come up against these men, man. Right, but that's why the scripture says it's going to be a test of faith, man. All right? All right? Which keep the commandments of the Most High, right? And have the testimony of Yahweh. So you're seeing it right there. That's one of the main ways that they try to destroy our people, man. That's one of the main ways that they push forth that disinformation. All right? But see, the Most High is not going to have it to where it's going to roll like that. See, irregardless of what Esau's got out here, it's nothing but a stumbling block. All right? There's always going to be a stumbling block to who? To the people that the Most High doesn't want, man. For the rest of the people, look, they're going to get the truth. See, Scripture says if it was possible to deceive the very elect, but it's not going to be possible to deceive the very elect. All right? So let's get into the scriptures as pertaining to the elect and the stumbling blocks that you're going to have out there. All right? Starting first and foremost with the book of Romans, rathermore, the 11th chapter on the 7th verse. All right? This is Romans. The 11th chapter on the 7th verse. It says, "What then? Israel hath not obtained that which it seeketh for, but the election have obtained it." All right? So you got it to where these philosophies are coming out there, all right, and they deceive, your average Jake, your average 2/3 guy, man, right? And Esau thinks he's achieving something. See, but when you go into the book of Zechariah, the 13th chapter on the 8th verse, it clearly tells you the 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, man. All right, so 2/3 of our own people are going to be destroyed anyway. All right, so that's not no achievement, man. All right. But more so to the point, right? The scripture says, "What then? Israel hath not obtained that which is seeketh for." All right, because the scripture says in the book of Romans that the 10th chapter on the 1st verse, that brethren, my heart's desire is that but Israel that may be set for our bread and record that they have a zeal for the Most High, but not according to knowledge. Alright, so you got guys out here that are all up into these different philosophies, but they ain't got the knowledge behind it, they ain't got the wisdom behind it. Why? Because they're not of the elect. Alright? It says, "What then Israel hath not obtained that which seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded, according as it is written." Alright? "The Most High has given them a spirit of slumber, eyes that they shall not see, and ears that they shall not hear unto this day." Alright? So all of them guys that were in the reincarnation that made the covenant with the heathen and did the ways of the heathens that we saw in the book of Maccabees, man. Alright? Look, the Most High has put a spirit of slumber upon them. So it's not achievement when Esau pushes out these floods, right? After, but he's going to be still punished for it. As we're going to see in the scriptures, he's going to be punished for it. Alright? But it's not achievement, man. Alright, you haven't achieved anything in doing that, because 2/3 of our people, as we see in the scriptures, right? In the book of Zechariah, the 13th chapter on the 8th verse, are going to be destroyed anyway, right? Alright? Goes on to say, "And David saith, let their tables be made a snare, and a trap unto them, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them, that their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their heads always. All right. So ultimately, man, right, all of that floods, all of them philosophies, that's to catch out the wicked ones of our own people, man. The wicked ones that already made a covenant with you anyway, man. All right. But see, as for the elect, we're gonna push this work, man. And you're gonna be in a state of disarray when you see it, man. We see thousands of people, right, being risen up in this world, man. That's gonna trouble you, man, because your destruction's gonna come by way of that, man. All right. So that's how your destruction was gonna come about, man. And with that, look, let me get into the some of the scriptures pertaining to Babylon being destroyed. This is the book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter, man. All right, speaking about the destruction of Babylon. All right, it's Isaiah the 47th chapter and the first verse. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." Right, it says virgin daughter because ain't no major war played out there. But see, now you got a track record of doing all of these atrocities to Jake. All right, you had it to where your floods, your philosophies really were catered out to them, man. All right, you see, you got every time you got it to where when you got these religions or whatever, who's gonna be the face of it? All right, it certainly ain't gonna be no Elamite, it ain't gonna be no Moabite, it's gonna be a Jake, man. All right. Who's the face of them hip hop Christian churches, man? Creflo Dollar and all of that, man. Those are all Jakes, man. All right. When they brought that them Scientology and all of that, them kind of religions there, they had it to where, well, hey, they were Gentiles, but really, man, them guys, the mega stars that they used to push that, man, them push that wine out. They were Jakes, man. All right. But see, they're all gonna, they're gonna get their master's reward, which is destruction, man. All right. But getting back onto the point I was saying, it says, "Virgin daughter of Babylon," because it's because ain't no major war ever played out there. But see, now is the war gonna play out now? All right, and you're gonna be destroyed out of there, man. All right. So it says there, Isaiah the 47th chapter. All right. There is no thorn or the daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. It says, "Take the millstone and grind, and cover the locks, and make bare the legs, and uncover thy thighs, and pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered." So that's what we're bringing forth. We're telling you that, Esau, all right? Esau's the one that's been deceiving you, man. Esau's the one that's been destroying. That's why when you eat, you don't feel re-energized. That's why when you go out to these churches, you don't feel like your spirit's been re-energized, because the scripture talks about food as in food that you eat, and there's also food for your spirit to live off of, man. That's why Yahushua said, "My meat is to do this work," man. That's what refreshing Yahushua, man. That's what made him. You right, man? Yeah. All right. That's what made him alive, man. That's what it says. The scripture says the spirit is the spirit that quickeneth, man. And what does quicken mean? Quicken means to make alive, man. All right. So it says there, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, right? Thy shame shall be seen, and I'll take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. All right. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, right? And the Holy One of Israel, right? I said, sit down and get thee into the darkness, man. All right. When we get another precept, it's going to be in the book of this is the book of Isaiah, the 33rd chapter and the first verse. It says, "Woe to thee that spoilest and that was not spoiled," right? So destruction unto Esau, right? Because you spoiled our nation, right? And nobody spoiled. Not only did you spoil our nation, you spoiled everybody that's in all of these different nations that are upon the face of the planet, man. All right. It says, "Woe to thee that spoilest and that was not spoiled, and that dwells treacherously and that was not dwelt treacherously with thee." Right. So ain't nobody gone out there to deceive the Edomites, man. Ain't nobody gone out there to put, hey, when we was in rulership, and when we get into rulership, and we're gonna be ruling with a rod of iron, even then it's not gonna happen to where we're gonna put GMOs in the food and splicing genes and hey, it's gonna be hella hell. But goddamn it, what we gonna be doing that for, man? All right. So it says, "Thou was not dwelt treacherously with," right? They that dwell, so like it says, and dwells treacherously, and they dwelt not treacherously with thee, right? And it says, when thou shalt cease to spoil, right? So now, when you start to make an end to doing all of that, all right? When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, all right? And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, right? They shall deal treacherously with thee, man, right? Get another preacher. It's going to be in the book of Isaiah, in fact, I said I was going to get Revelations, the 18th chapter. All right, so this is the book of Revelations, the 18th chapter, and pretty much after this one, I might call it, call it a day, man. All right, so this is the book of Revelations, the 18th chapter, and the first verse on down, it says, and after this I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lit in his glory, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils. Okay, so you got it to where Babylon was going to be destroyed, man. All right, which America is Babylon, is the land of confusion. We saw that in the book of Revelations, the 17th chapter. Right, and the hold of every foul spirit and cage of unclean spirit, right, and hateful birth. All right, it says for all the nations, and that's talking about all of them doleful creatures. It's talking about in the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter. All them creatures gonna dwell there after America's return into the ashes, man. Because when you go into the book of Malachi, the first chapter, around about the first verse, man, it goes into speaking how the Most High hates Esau and how Esau was gonna build these cities and all of that. All right, he's gonna build them up, but the Lord was gonna throw them down. Where it says, for all the nations have drank of the wine of a wrath of fornication. So all the nations, that all of them philosophies were pushed out onto all of them different nations. Why? Because they were gonna be Israelites.